guys, so today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm actually going to be doing my very first Q&A video. So you guys asked me some questions after I posted on Instagram. I said, hey guys, I'm going to be sharing another side of myself just beside my hair self, and I wanted you guys to ask me some questions, and you guys did, and you asked some really great questions. And this is stuff that I've never shared before. So like my first questions that I want to share on my first Q&A to kind of like get to know me a little bit better is about how I started doing YouTube, hairstyling, meeting my husband, stuff like that, so you guys kind of get an idea and a background of who I am as a person, and kind of, you know, getting into a little bit more of the personal side of things. And it's something that I've wanted to kind of open up with because I really want to go into other things besides just Q&A, kind of like I deal with anxiety, and I've seen a few girls post videos on here and it's helped me, and I feel like if there's a way that I can talk about personal things in my life and kind of get to know you guys on a different level, on more of like a friend level, because I feel like, you know, it's not just people who I meet from YouTube, like other girls who do it, but it's people that I get to meet and interact with and talk with every day that makes this like YouTube experience what it is. I love being able to talk to you guys and be able to ask questions, and I feel like it's going to be even better when I open up about my personal life because I am a very open person. I just haven't shared that side of me on YouTube yet, and I think that it is about time. So let's get into the questions. So I'm just going to pull it up on my picture from my Instagram and see which question, because I kind of want to keep it as like the basics for the beginning. So the first question is, what influenced you to start a YouTube channel? And this kind of, I feel like it's like the best introduction question. So I'm a professional hairstylist. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, and I was working in a salon. I've always been that one that, like, for proms, for people's events, I've always been the one to like kind of do people's updos and styling and weddings and things like that. And I love doing it to myself. Like, I love doing all kinds of crazy stuff to my hair. So I mean, obviously you guys know that, but I was doing these things to my hair and people were asking me, they were like, how do you do that? I want to know how to do that braid. How do you do your hair like that? And so I decided, I was like, hey, I watch girls on YouTube, and I was like, that's such a great way for me to show my clients and my friends how to do their hair. So I just started doing like some really basic things and like makeup and hair things, and then all of a sudden I started to get a little bit of a following, and I was like, oh, okay, so now it's, you know, getting a little bit more. And that's when I really dove into doing YouTube and like really starting it, not just for my clients, but for you guys out there, you know, all around the world. I know I've been contacted by people in France, in Germany, in Australia, the UK, you know, like all these different places. And it's so neat that, you know, I live here in California, but I get to reach out through my camera and through YouTube and to you guys who are sitting, you know, halfway across the world. And that's just so neat. So I got into it just kind of as something for clients and people that I knew. And now I'm sitting back and I'm almost at 40,000 subscribers, and it's just like insane to think of that. And it's so exciting because I get to share, like I said, from here in my bedroom to you guys across the world, and that is just like mind-boggling. So the next question is, why did you start doing hair? Where do you work, and can I get my hair done by you? You sure can. If you are here in Orange County, California, you can come and get your hair done by me. So the first question is, why did you start doing hair? So my mom was actually a cosmetologist, and she stopped working in the salon when she had me. She decided that she like wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and my dad and her made that decision, and so she wasn't doing hair in the salon anymore, but she would do family and friends hair, you know, at our house, in the kitchen and stuff like that. So I got to grow up with my mom doing friends and family's hair and helping her and like hanging out with her and her friends. And then it just kind of developed to, during proms, during like my proms and other people's proms, everyone was wanting me to do their hair. And I mean, I would color their hair, I would style their hair. I remember one time, this is an awful thing to happen to you, but my high school best friend, Shelby, she wanted, I think we were probably like 13, 14 years old. I couldn't have been older than that because we were babies. And she wanted to get her hair cut and layered. And she always had like this really cute, like super short bob. And I was like, oh, and she's like, you could cut my hair. And I was like, okay, because 13 and 14-year-olds don't think about these things. I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen it done, I can do it. No, I couldn't, no. So I went into her bathroom, we were sitting in her bathroom, and I like pick up a piece of hair, like this. I just like take a chunk, I pick it up, and I go, if you're a hairdresser, you're like cringing inside. Like you can see the horribleness happening. And then I picked up another one and I went, and I picked up another one and I went, mind you, that is not how you cut layers, especially on a bob. And then we look at it and it looks like she has like steps in her hair. And she's all like, oh, that looks so good, I love it. And I'm like, I don't think that's how it's supposed to look. I don't know what happened. And her sister Jessica comes in and she's like, oh my god, what did you do to her hair? That looks awful. And we're like, she wanted layers. Yeah, I was not such a great hairstylist in that point of my life, but I was on my road to becoming a hairstylist. So my influence from my mom and just being able to like naturally like get and understand hair kind of made me into what I am. And then when I was in high school, I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to Paul Mitchell. I've always wanted to go there. So I was living like in Tennessee, in the very bottom part of Tennessee at the time, and I moved up to Nashville, and I went to the Paul Mitchell School in Nashville, which is an awesome school. And right after I was 17, I had just actually turned 18, and then right when I was done, I moved back down to Huntsville, and I got married, and I started working in a salon. So that's kind of like how I started doing hair. So the second part of her question is, where do you work so I can get my hair done by you? I am, like I said, out of Orange County, California. I have a job where I work as a stylist at a salon in Newport Beach. So if you guys ever want to get your guys' hair done, or you're in the area and you want to get it styled, or for a wedding or whatever it is, you can contact me at alexsis.scaletti at salon359.com. I'll have that up on the screen for you guys and down in my description box. So if you guys ever do want to come and get your hair done, you totally can. I am super open to having people that I love and I, be able to talk to on YouTube come into my salon and hang out with me and get your hair done, because that's so special, and that's why I do this. Like, I do it because I love being able to style people's hair. So if you're in the area, come check it out. Okay, so the last question, because these questions are kind of long because I talk a lot, because it's like storytelling time. I can't just be like, why do you work at a salon? Because I love to do hair. Like, I can't do that. It's not me. So this next question is going to be kind of long. It is, how did you and your husband meet? So I kind of have to give you guys a little bit of a background to how we met. So I was born and raised in Newport Beach, California. I lived here till I was 13, and then my dad came to the family and he said, I feel like we need to move out to Tennessee. This is where his sister lives, and his sister has a farm out there and everything, and he's like, I just feel like God is telling us that we need to go out there. Like, his words to me are just go. And my family's faith is really, really important to us. We're Christian, and we try to live by that as much as we possibly can. Like, we're humans, we're gonna fail, but we try to do and walk by our faith as much as we possibly can. And my dad was just like, I feel like God is really leading us out there. So when I was 13 years old, my whole family loaded up all of our stuff and drove out to Tennessee, where my aunt lives, and we lived out there for a while. And my dad is actually a professional surfboard maker, and he had to commute like back and forth and all this stuff. And I promise you, there's where I'm going with this story. It's like, kind of have to have a backstory to understand how I met my husband. So my family, my dad is the hardest working, most sacrificing dad I have ever seen. He is absolutely amazing. My mom is a stay-at-home mom, and she homeschooled all of us kids for the longest time, and they're both incredible people, but wealth for us was not in the picture. I always had a roof over my head, food on the table, stuff like that, but we were never the type of people that just had an abundance of things. Family is really what mattered to me and to my family. And when we moved out to Tennessee, it was really hard on my dad and my mom, and we ended up getting a piece of property with my grandma and grandpa, because they followed us out and moved there, and we ended up moving into a 20-foot trailer. literally like a pull along in the truck trailer. I have 3 younger brothers, so there's 6 of us total, and we were all living in this camping trailer for a while. We did not have running water, we did not have electricity, everything had to be on a generator, and I mean, to even just wash dishes, you had to go to the hose and get water and boil it in a pot, and then wash your dishes that way. And it was just like a really hard time, and I think everyone in my family's life. And I'm so thankful for my parents that make family priority, because even though we went through that situation, it was like family meant so much to us, and it still means so much to us, and it probably made us even closer as a family. And we were going to this church, and we found out through our pastor at our church that somebody was donating a mobile home to the church for a family in need. And since we were at like poverty level, they decided that we were going to be the recipients of this house. And we ended up meeting this family, and the mom was a homeschooler just like my mom. She was very into like organic things just like mine, and they just ended up clicking, and they wanted to be a part of the family's life who was receiving this trailer. It was like this huge, like 2,800 square foot, like 4-bedroom home, and it was pretty incredible that like a family was deciding to give that away, because they had just built their dream house and they wanted to do something good with it and give it to someone who needed it. So they had 4 kids. They had an older boy and then 3 younger daughters. So our families meshed really well. Since I'm the oldest, I have 3 younger brothers, the oldest boy, and then he had 3 younger sisters, and we ended up meeting each other, and all of our families just got along so well, and we became close friends. We went camping and all this stuff. And their son, who decided that he wanted to help the family move in with this trailer. He wanted to help do the plumbing, the electrical, all kinds of stuff like that, because he's incredible at just fixing things and putting things together. I met him, and his name is Shane. And when I first met him, I was like, no, I don't like country boys. I was super punk rock back then. Like, if I can find a picture, I'll try to put it in. But it was really funny. I had like red hair, super into band, and I didn't want anything to do with country, like country boys, nothing. Like, I wanted to go back to California. And him and I ended up becoming friends, and with his other friend Todd, and we just kind of connected. He was super nice, super sweet, super funny, and very like, oh my gosh, my husband's a show-off. He's a major show-off. And I just kind of, like, one day it just clicked in my head. I was like, I really like this guy. Like, he's really awesome. And I was, like, 13 when I first met him, and I was friends with him until I was about 15, and then we started dating. And it was really amazing because his family went through some situations, and I'm not going to go into that because it's not my story to tell, but his family went through some situations which made us really close, and him and my family really close, and it just developed into this relationship. And then when I went away to cosmetology school, we got engaged, and then when I graduated cosmetology school, I moved back to Alabama, and like Alabama and Tennessee, because we lived like right on the border. It was like right there. And so I moved back there, and we got married 2 weeks later in October 2010, and on the 29th, and our 5-year anniversary is coming up this October. I can't believe it. It's like only a few months away, and we've been married for 5 years. That's crazy to me. We got married very young. I was 19, he was 20, but we had known each other since I was 13, and through all of the stuff that I went through with him, with getting this home, and him just sacrificing a lot of time with my family and wanting to make sure that my family was, you know, taken care of, even since he was young, it was just so endearing. And my husband is absolutely amazing. He is such a selfless person and just gives so much of himself, and I'm so thankful and so grateful that I met him at an early age, because I've always wanted to get married young and have kids young and all of that type of stuff. So God really like delivered on that desire of mine, even though it was at a very young age. It was really incredible. So I am, like, looking back on it, it's kind of crazy, because he was actually born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts, I'm born and raised in California, and then his family moved to like Tennessee, Alabama area when he was really little. And then I moved when I was 13, and it's like these two people across the entire United States meet kind of in the middle and end up getting married and having this relationship. And it's like mind-boggling to me that it's like so far away, and then you meet, and then you end up spending the rest of your lives together. So it's really special. I'll try to pop in a few pictures from our wedding, and like from we were like young kids with like zits all over our face, and I had red hair and he had like super long crazy hair. I'll try to find some of those and throw them in there if I can. I think I have my like my storage hard drive with me, so I can throw some of those in while I'm editing this video. But yeah, so that's kind of just the first couple questions I'm going to answer, because I know it's going to be really long, and I kind of want that to be my introductory to more of my personal life. So I hope that you guys enjoy this. Let me know if you guys have more questions for another Q&A. Leave them down in the comments below, because I love to get them, and I love to share with you guys a little bit more about who I am as a person, my faith, what I do, all that type of stuff. So thank you so much if you stuck through it and watched all of this. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!